Am I on? I'm trying to see. Oh, what's up, everybody? Yes, this is going to be a good one. Okay, what's going on here? Stupid ass YouTube. Why is my stream not showing? Okay, here we go. Let's try this one more time. Well, dang, I can't get any lower. All right, I know what I'm going to have to do. This is just really driving me crazy. Hold on, you guys. If anybody can even hear me, I'm having drama. Okay, oh, I have to stop this stream because this stream is messed up. Why is this acting like this? It is? You can hear me? We can see me? Oh, I'm getting a message up here that says that that's not happening. I am so sorry. I can see the chat now. So, see YouTube. YouTube. Thank you guys for putting that in there so I can see it because I'm sitting over here struggling trying to figure out what to do based on the message that they have up here in big red letters. Anyway, this topic I want to say is a suggestion. You might be right, Lux. That might be what it is. This topic was a suggestion by a channel visitor, and she put it up probably, I don't know, a week or two ago. And, I thought about it. And thanks, Jazz. And I want to go and kind of talk about this challenge thing because I think a lot of women don't understand what that means, and they think that uh, it's this phrase that I used to hear called playing hard to get. And essentially, you are a little bit, but it's not a game. It's not that you're playing hard to get. You are hard to get because you got so much shit going on. Your confidence level is so high. Your standards are high. Your boundaries are in place. So the guy, in order to get the goal, to get you, which might be his goal, he's gonna have to come with his A game. And you don't tell him that, because I see a lot of women like, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. That's not being a challenge. That I don't know what that is. But you don't say what you do, what you want him to do. You just let him figure it out because he's a man and that's what he's supposed to be doing. That's not your job to give him instructions and stuff like he's a toddler and you teaching him, toilet training or something. That's not how you do it. So I made some notes because you know how I do. I have to do something to keep myself on track because I'll start talking about, what happened in 1987 and all kind of crazy stuff. So I have to keep myself on track. So let's get started, and I'll ask for questions in a little, as I finish something, I'll look at the chat and see if you guys have any questions. Okay. So let's see. I have on a thing the 5-step checklist to being a challenge. 5 was a good number. Could have been 7, 10, 12, whatever, but I chose 5. Well, I'm not reading any messages yet. That's what I said. I'm going to do some stuff and then you guys can ask questions because right now I'm doing this and I can't do that at the same time. So I have to do this. All right. Now, the number one thing I think that's missing from most women is you guys get with a dude, right? And he becomes your whole world. You change everything. You change your entire existence to be around in case he calls, in case he want to see you, in case he want to do something. You break dates with your friends and you don't show up for family. You have go to work. You don't go to the gym. You don't do any of the stuff that you used to do before this man came into your life. You drop everything for him, and that is the number one mistake I see women making. So to me, the most important thing about being a challenge is that you maintain an air of independence. Now that does not mean that you're gonna be like, how these people be like, well, you an independent black woman. See, that's not what I mean. Maintaining an air of independence means that you have a life, you have friends, you have interests, you have hobbies, you have things in your life that bring you joy and excitement and people that you like to be around, and you continue those relationships, you continue those associations. If he wants to do some of those things with you, he can. I know them. I like my little mug. He certainly can do that. It's not like you gonna turn him down, but you make sure that you don't make your happiness dependent on him. And a lot of women do that. You guys, it's true. Don't be fronting. Eddie's here. I missed it. So that's the thing. Have an air of independence. Don't make your happiness dependent on him. Make yourself happy. Because then if you're happy, you'll be happy whether he's there or not. Okay? And that's key. He needs to know that he can make you more happy, but that you're not going to be some miserable wretch laying around with nothing to do, twiddling your thumbs, eating bonbons and watching TV if he's not there. He got to be able to think of you as somebody who, has a full life and that's an interesting person. And I'll get into more of that in a little bit later. Part of that air of independence is having enough strength of character to maintain healthy boundaries and healthy priorities. What does that mean? That means if you might have had a really good time with him, y'all stayed up late and this and that, and he's like, oh, just blow work off. Well, you have a presentation that afternoon. You want to get to the office. You want to go over it. You still have some finishing touches to do on your PowerPoint. You probably shouldn't have stayed up as late as you did, but you did, and so it's too late to worry about that right now. But you're definitely not gonna not go to work because this is important and this has something to do with the rest of your career. If you get this account, whatever, you might, you can get a raise, you can get a bonus, you can get whatever, more money, whatever. So you're gonna go to work. Okay, that is a healthy priority. You're prioritizing yourself and what's going to be good for you over what he wants you to do. And so many of you just don't do that. You don't do that. Even something as simple as you're not supposed to be eating like a bunch of junk food because it makes you gain weight. But he's like an athlete, so he can eat all that stuff. And you sitting up there stuffing your face with all this stuff that he eats. And then they say, you done put on 15 pounds and you looking silly. See, no. You have to do what works for you, and you have to maintain those boundaries. You also want to avoid coming across as needy or desperate or clingy. Again, maintaining your air of independence so that you're not always looking for him. You're not that kind of broad to be calling up saying, what you doing? What you doing? Or texting WYD all day long. You busy. You're doing stuff that's good for your life and, your mind and your heart, your body. You're concentrating on yourself because of your boundaries. You also have the confidence to take it slow. A lot of women don't want to do that because they feel like, I have to hurry up and get him. You have to hurry up and lock this down. If I don't do it for him, some other woman will. So they're filled with this fear and anxiety about, quote, getting and keeping this man. So all your sense of independence goes up in smoke. You be tripping, like really. Maintaining your standards is a part of that. A lot of women lose that sense of standards because they start focusing more on not on being independent, but on, they're tired of being single, so they just settle for anybody. You can't be a challenge to any man when you have that attitude, when you just like fold up like a bad poker hand at the first sign of attention from any raggedy ass man that comes down the pike. Then you're never going to be a challenge with that attitude. That weak, desperate thing, or like the dude says, well, I don't want to use a condom. I don't like it, this and that. Okay. Knowing the risk that it puts you at for pregnancy as well as disease, but you don't have, your boundaries just crumble because you're so needy and desperate to have this man around. You can't, I'm telling you, this is like, you just can't be consider yourself any kind of challenge for a man. The whole point about being a challenge is that you present yourself in a way that makes him have to come with his best. He has to do his best. He has to act his best. He has to wear his best. He has to speak his best. He has to get his shit together. He has to have his shit together when he comes around you. He's on his P's and Q's. And even if he does mess up and you have to check him, because that's something else on this list, you have to check him. He, instead of looking at it as some kind of assault on his ego, he understands that you're pointing that out to him because you know that he can do better. So it makes him rise to the occasion instead of just stumbling. I mean, just being like nothing and not really striving for any kind of greatness. He's just just an average level, low level knucklehead, and he's content with that. All right. And the other thing that is important for women in the air of independence area, and point number one, is that you have to have independence of mind and action. Now, what does that mean? That means that sometimes you need to agree with them. Sometimes, you have to just say, well, you're wrong. That's not true. That's not right. And then have some shit to back you, have some information to back yourself up. So, they try to come across as they know everything, you know what I mean? And he don't know everything. He don't know everything, but he's going to play that ego game. So what you have to do is just, show him that he's not the king that he thinks he is. He's not Mr. Know Everything. and just check them. But you do it respectfully, unless you through with the relationship, then you cuss them out. But you do it respectfully and just tell them, that's not really accurate. You're wrong there. Blah 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 blah. And that, the idea there, if he's a guy who respects your thoughts and your mind, that's gonna be like he's gonna be, well, damn, baby got her shit together. I gotta step my game up. So it's like you're challenging him to be the best man that he can be. That's what it is. You're going to bring out the best in him from not only a competitive way, but because it's going to make him become a better person in order to win you over. He knows that you're just not going to be easy to get. He's going to have to put in some work. And if a guy's willing to put in the work, then, it'll be all good. But, some of them aren't. And that's something that you would have to determine. I can't make that call for you because some of you don't, be all right with that. I'm not. Okay, so let's look at point 2 on our checklist. Oh, it's bad winch. Yeah. I said I wasn't going to read the chat yet. I told him that. I guess it was before you got here. I said I wasn't. I said when I finished some of the stuff, then I would look at the chat. So, all right. Point number 2. After I finish point 2, I'll look at the chat. Have a backbone. Be assertive. Oh my God, why do you guys wimp out so much? It's like, he said something stupid. Okay, all right. I like to submit to my man. Even though he's making stupid ass decisions, and he's gonna be dragging you through the mud, your kids through the mud, everybody in the whole house, and you just let him get away with it. No, you're supposed to. Okay, part of being a challenge is you say, look here, son. What you talking about is not gonna work, and let me show you why. And then you do and say, okay, now these are some other options you can consider, and we can talk about it and stuff. But that plan that you came up with, we're not going to do that. That's not gonna work. But as long as you have some good reasoning, he should be fine with that. But the main thing is, okay, this is point 2. Have a backbone and be assertive. Now, what does that mean? That means that you aren't going to accept ill treatment from him. Now, I saw something the other day and it just pissed me off. This guy was making jokes, or he's telling jokes. And then he started making them about his girlfriend or whoever she was. She was with him. I'm going to say girlfriend. I didn't see a ring on her finger. And so the people that they were with were laughing kind of uncomfortably, because you could see it cutting their eyes at him and cutting their eyes at her and trying to figure out, is this okay to even laugh, or, what's he trying to do? Did they fight and this is his way of being passive aggressive? You could tell they didn't really know what to do. And I'm like, look at this jerk. But, she never said anything. And that's what I'm saying. When you see a situation like that, you have to stand up for yourself. Don't let him treat you like that. Because then they're going to hit you with, well, I was just joking. You can't take a joke, this and that. And that's not what it is at all. He's being emotionally abusive. And he's not trying to pass it off as being fun and funny and stuff. But part of you being a woman who's a challenge, you don't take that shit. And you say, you know what? And I don't care if it's in front of, everyone. Say, you know what you're doing right now is not funny. So your career as a comedian is shot. So let's not even try that. Secondly, do not ever try to make me the brunt of jokes to get laughs at my expense in front of anyone. Nobody here is laughing at you. They all think you're stupid. And I'm like really wondering what's the motivation for you thinking that you can treat me like this in front of all these people. Just break his ass off a piece. And so he either is going to correct his behavior, now he knows you're not going to take it, or he will get out of your life. One of the two, which is either one is all right. Because if he's going to continue to treat you like that, you would want him out of your life. He might think that, I treated other women like that and nobody ever said anything, so it might shock him. Where he's sitting there like a deer in headlights trying to figure out what just happened. And, so you don't know. I don't know your kind of man. I don't know the situation. I'm just saying you don't let people treat you like that. And that's part of point 2, having a backbone and being assertive. Under this also is the courage to ask the questions that you want to ask and say the things that you want to say. Now, a lot of women, I can't tell you how many women write my advice column. Well, I don't know where we are. I don't know what this means. I don't know what we have. But you done slept with them and some of them are even pregnant. But you don't know what you have and you don't know what this means. You see, you doing shit ass backward. So that's the assertive part. If you want to know what's going on with his heart, ask him. Generally, they be showing you though, but I mean, if he's not the kind that's not very demonstrative and you want to know, then you need to ask him. All right. Another point of this is the courage to tell him what you feel. Now, I'm not going to say, the 2 weeks in, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm so in love with you. I never want to be apart with you. I get to see us being married and living happily ever after and holding hands in old folks' home when we're 97 years old. You don't do that. But what you can do is say, I really enjoy the time I spend with you. You make me so happy. What man's not going to want to hear that shit? But you know how many women, you have to have courage and confidence to say things like that and not wither, if he doesn't say it back or something like that. That's your expression of your feelings. You own it. You don't say it with the expectation that he's going to say it back or feel the same way. The dude will probably be so broadsided and shocked he will be speechless and won't know what to say. So he's not going to say anything, just sit there looking at you like blinking and looking crazy. But that's the kind of example I'm talking about. This is the confidence that you have to have as a woman to make the man feel like you're a challenge, somebody to work for, somebody who's going to be an honor to get, someone he's going to be excited about acquiring in his life because you have high value, and he's going to see you that way by how you conduct yourself and how you interact with him. Okay. All right. Now I'll stop here and look at the chat. Okay. So what you guys want me to see? That voice kills you? Sorry. Yeah, they do know when they're being disrespectful. But, I'm just saying. It depends on the kind of relationships that he has had. It may not have been as much of an issue in prior relationships as it would be with you. Some people joke like that. I told you guys about the girlfriend I met. I don't know. It was some years ago when I first got into the workforce. And we stayed friends for like 20 something years. But she had a thing with her friends that from college that she used to do. They used to address each other as bitch. Oh, bitch this and oh, bitch that. Well, see, I'm not, no, I don't like that. And I had to know, I told her I didn't like it. And she was stunned because that was something that she had been doing with these friends since middle school. It was part of who she was. They went through middle school, high school, and college, calling each other bitch all the time. So when I said that wasn't something that was appropriate for me and that I wanted to tolerate, it was new to her. See what I'm saying? So it might be new to the dude, and you gotta at least give him that kind of, that kind of notice. Let's see. I have a multi-explanation question. I can wait until. Oops, it rolled up. I missed what it said. A multi-explanation question. Well, it might need to be sent into the advice column thing for Tuesday. I do advice letters on Tuesday. And go to survivingdating.com, and up at the top you'll see the thing that says get your advice, and click that and then submit your advice question there. Yes, I understand Bedwinch does moderate for a couple of people, so I'm like, oh, I'm glad she chose me. All right, so let's go back to this point number 2. To have the confidence to always be yourself and not try to be what he wants you to be. Not put on a false face. Oh my God. I told you all about the dude who wanted me to change my hair and another dude who thought I should tweeze my eyebrows the way he wanted me to do them. They always try to change you. And you have to have the confidence in yourself to say no. I mean, not just know about that, but know about anything that crosses your boundaries or that you feel like violates what you're trying to do. Eddie's not a troll. Who said Eddie was a troll? No, Eddie's not a troll. Eddie's probably like troll flirting or something. But he's not a troll. There's women, you want to change. You want to be what he wants you to be. You forget your hobbies and interests because you do what he wants, what he likes to do. So you can be with him all the time. I mean, the main thing is what you're doing is putting on a false front. You're getting him interested in you using a fake person that's not you. And so, the real you's going to come out at some point. Then what you going to do? He's going to be upset because what you presented yourself to be versus the person that you really are two completely different people. Um, Now, this is the part where it gets interesting. This is under point two. We remember we're doing the 5 steps to being a challenge in a relationship, or to a man, or however you want to put it. Under point two, which is have a backbone slash be assertive, is this one. To be bold and fearless. And what does it mean? Like, a lot of women are like, oh, somebody might this and they might think that. And what if this? I mean, they get all wrapped up in this fear of what somebody else might think or say about them. I gives no fucks. And when you don't give a fuck about stuff like that, you present yourself differently, and it's fascinating to me. And let me tell you how. So, say you have some situation, I got to think about it. Oh, say you guys are out and there's a crowd. It might even be his family there or something. And suddenly you looking at him and he's got like his lips looking all juicy and lovely, and he's talking and you just fascinated, just fixed on his lips, and then you just have to kiss him like that second. Most women will talk themselves out of it. What you do is, if that's really what you want to do, you walk up to him, put your hands on each side of his face like this, and pull in and smack, lay that smack on him. And then whisper in his ear and say, them lips was just looking too good. I had to give me some. Now, do you know what that would do to that man? That spontaneity, that shock, that like, what just fucking happened kind of thing. And then he's going to be looking around to see who saw and, what they did and stuff. He's going to secretly love it, though. But I'm just saying, if you are in a woman where you don't care what other people think, you're focused on what you like and what you want and what you think is going to be exciting for you, then you will do things like that. And the men will find that shit so fucking like a turn on. It will be just unbelievable. And you have to have the confidence, though, to do that and not be worried about what other people are going to think and what other people are going to say. And most women don't do it. They say, I would fall in love. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they love it. They love the fuck out of that shit. And I'm not going to say any more about that. So you got to tell him how you feel. You got to initiate things. And it could be something as simple as holding his hands first. Or he's sitting down, he's watching TV, sports, or whatever, and you jump in his lap and stick your tongue down his throat or something. I mean, I don't know, whatever. You walking down the street, you just reach to hold his hand or something. It's one thing I used to do with a boyfriend I had. He was very athletic. He used to run track, and he had this great butt. And he always wear jeans that had back pockets. And so instead of holding his hand, I would put my hand in his back pocket, and then I would walk next to him. And so I was like feeling his butt on the slide as we walked up and down the street. I shouldn't be telling you people this, but that's what I would do. And he loved that shit. He just loved it. When I didn't do it, he would miss it. And but stuff like that, you got to have the courage and the belief in yourself and the confidence in yourself that you're not going to be driven by what other people think. You're going to do what works for you. And that is a big, turn on with two men. And it also helps them see you as a woman who's worth getting. Like, if he knows if he can nail your ass down, he got something. That's the kind of thing that you want. Yeah, I wasn't really squeezing. My hand was just resting there. It was just, in his pocket. I wasn't squeezing. No cupping was going on or anything. It was just there. So every step he took, it was wonderful. Yes, it will be on the table. I mean table. On the, channel. I'm not lying. I did no cupping. I did no grabbing. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, and the other thing that you have to do is learn have the confidence to say no. Oh my God, can you all please just learn to say no? There's a whole video on this channel about different ways to say no. Please, if that's something you struggle with, and you are one of those timid talking women that that don't want to ever say no. I'm not lying. You know the kind of women. Well, maybe. Well, I think so. Kinda. Well, possibly. I'm not sure. I think about it. I think so. All those like little just bullshit ass answers that just indicate lack of a spine and no confidence. Ooh, I hate it when people talk like that. Men too. I just give me an answer. Say something. Please, sitting up there with this. I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know. I'm positive. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna look in the chat now. Yeah, they do run over you. Oh my God, because they just see you as just like something to victimize. Girl, you better put some bass in your voice when you say no. Yeah, I don't beat around. Yeah, hell no, that's right. Fuck no. What I look like, no. You know, I'm just saying. Be like my ex, Knoknow. That was the one that I put my hand in the jeans pocket. He had a nice booty. Okay, so that's point number two. So we got one and two. Number one, have an air of independence. And number two, be assertive. Have a backbone. Have the confidence to say what it is that you want and what you think. Okay? That's right. God damn it, no. All them kind of no's. I call those conjugations. Conjugations of no. All right. So let me see. Point number three point three on our list of 5 things to help you have to be a challenge to a man. Number 3, make sure he knows he's lucky if he wins you over because you are the prize. Because you got to think about it, ladies. You know, like these videos I did, these kind of response videos where guys were talking about, you know, that they're the prize and women need to understand that and stuff. It's like, look, little bitch nigga, you ain't no prize. Okay, men like a dime a dozen. That is not it. We're looking for somebody of some quality. And so, you know, the thing that they were trying to do was lower your self-esteem so that you would feel like you weren't worthy and not valuable, so that they could run all kind of games on you and flip that script on you. But if you know, so if you feel like you have to earn a man, that you're not worthy, that you're lacking, all these kind of things, you're going to be a lot more vulnerable to manipulation, coercion, and control than a woman who has a strong sense of who and what she is and her value in herself. And because she just going to walk off and leave him standing there like, you stupid, I'm out. Whereas other, you know, it's like, oh, well, you know, I need to do this for him. You know, he's this, you know, I don't want to lose my man. You know, all this kind of stuff, like he's a bag of marbles that you lose. I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, too many he bitches. I can't. So that's number 3. Okay, you know, it's like it's in men's blood, I think, really, when you think about how they like to compete in sports and stuff like that. And even when they get around each other, you know, they be bragging about whose car is the fastest, whose TV is the biggest. I mean, think about it, really. You know what I mean? I mean, just think about how men are always in competition with each other about everything. So they're also going to be in competition about a woman. So, you know, that's why it's like, you know, when you first start dating a dude, you should be dating somebody else too. Don't let him think he the only show in town, because, you know, you don't know where that's going to go. And if you enjoy the company of 2 or 3 different guys, then you should continue doing that until, you know, one of them decides that they want to be exclusive with you and you agree with him. Because, you know, it's a 2-part issue. He might want to be exclusive or you might want to be exclusive, but it has to be a mutual thing. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So, that's an important part. So that's what I said. I think, you know, it's kind of in men's blood. You know, like, you know, my pit bull's the toughest. You know, mine is whatever the thing, American Kennel, whatever that thing is, you know, the dogs, the certification, registrations for the dogs and all the stuff. And, you know, mine's purebred this and mine. I mean, they compete about everything, from betting on teams that they don't even play on, to, you know, their fast, whose car is the better, whose TV, all that, whose stereo system is the loudest. They are in constant competition with each other. So you need to use that mentality to your advantage. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That is what men, that competitive spirit is what causes them to rise to the occasion and compete for your heart. And you want to use, that's a male mentality. You just use it in a way that's going to get you what you want, and it'll ultimately get him what he wants as well, and you'll both enjoy the process. So more on point 3. Let him see that you're selective about the people that you associate with. If he sees you with around a bunch of ratchets, even if you related to him, you know, you always around ratchets, but you trying to tell him that you have high value, he's going to be like, huh? Huh? It's not gonna show that. You need to respect yourself. You walking around with half your ass out and flip flopping around with all these different dudes, all up in a bunch of different dudes' faces. I saw that one time. I went to this dude's birthday party, and he was going out with this girl, right? And a bunch of his friends came to the party, and I came, and his friends was fine. Okay, let me just put that out there. They were all fine, and they were all single. And this girl, she's supposed to be with the birthday boy, right? That's supposed to be his, like, his new girlfriend. Honey, she was in every other man's face. I mean, sitting in men's laps, just doing the most. Just doing the most. And so at the end, they was looking at her, and that thing, that man thing. So they like, who gonna tap her? Because dude was done. It was a wrap. She wasn't gonna be his girlfriend anymore, acting like that. So, so one of the other dudes, I mean, two dudes took her home. So, they had a threesome. I'm like, and then he was done with her. But I'm like, wow, this is a trip. So, things like that. People are looking at things like that. You got to carry yourself with respect. Even if you're going to do some wild shit like that, do it in some other country on a cruise or somewhere. There's no witnesses. Okay. Um, you have to have something going. I'm just saying, have something going on so that he has to earn you. That means you're not dropping everything in your life because he calls. You're going to maintain your relationships with other people. He says, well, I don't like so and so. You be like, well, it's not for you to like, it's for me to like. Boundaries. But a lot of women will be like, oh, really? Oh, well, I guess I can't associate with her no more then because my man don't like her. Why would you let him have that kind of control over your life? You know, just, oh, that's good. Atlanta Angels put Summer Shut Up. That's good. That's great. Why didn't I think of that? See, y'all be on it. I have to give you guys props. Um, everything about you, he should have to earn it. From seeing you smile at him, what did he do to earn a smile from you? Just like stand there? I mean, you might smile at him, it's like if you haven't seen him all day or something like that. But a lot of times they just want you to be grinning at them. Well, what you do that's funny that's gonna make me smile. Otherwise, I just have my resting face on. You smile too much, you frown too much, you get wrinkles. Um, he definitely should be earning your attention and your heart. Okay, you should not just be giving those things away freely without any kind of effort on his part. But these women talking about, well, I'm in love. 3 weeks later, and a month later, they having his baby. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You don't even know this dude, and you just like got in too deep, too fast, and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not handling yourself with the air of independence and boundaries and stuff. Like I said, you just like went all in based on nothing, just because he showed up and you just in your life, and you just go all in with no regard for, is this even make any sense? Let me just tell you, I got a letter the other day I didn't even talk about it on Tuesday because my response was so short. Young woman, she said she wanted to go to school and she wanted to do all this stuff, right? She was with some dude who was like, all he did was do drugs. He dealt drugs and stuff. Didn't have no job, didn't go to school. She had this whole list of what he wasn't, okay? And then she had an aunt who was wealthy or something, so she, goes to live with the aunt, and then, so she can like start this new career path and do all this stuff. And then she finds out that she's pregnant. And dude was mad because she was pregnant, and he wanted her to come back there where there was no opportunities for what she was trying to do with herself. And she's like, I just have this baby, and I'm so confused, this and that. And I'm thinking, okay, you went over to your wealthy aunt. Why did she drop kick your ass and stomp that baby out of you? Because you are just about to fuck up your life. You got an aunt that's got some money. She's gonna let you stay with her and help you with school, and you have big plans for yourself. But now you have a baby by an idiot, a weed smoking, drug dealing fool. And you want to have his baby out of all the men on this planet that you could have had a baby by that have some sense. You chose that. See what I mean? And it was like, I was so disgusted. I didn't even want to put the letter in the Tuesday, Tell It Tuesday, because it was just too dumb. And she's up there stressed out. She had like a whole list of problems. I said, the first thing you need to do is get an abortion. Once you do that, all the other problems that you listed in this letter will disappear like in a puff of smoke. And that was it. That was my answer. 2 sentences. Yeah, and have a baby at that, and by a baby by some goon. I was like, what are you doing? Another thing that these women need to work on is have some fucking intelligent conversation. Read some goddamn books. Do something with yourself. There's no excuse to say, well, they cost too much. You can go to the library. A library card is free. And then you can check out a book and you can read it. You can bring that one back, check out another and read it. Expand your mind so that you have something to talk about. You know how that turns men on? Because when you get the mind up here, the butt follows. I should say get the mind and the behinds follows. But you got, all you can talk about is rappers and the Kardashians and whose nails is better and what kind of makeup you wearing and I don't know, housewives or some shit and just crazy stuff. You can talk about that kind of crazy stuff or some shit you saw on Facebook that everybody, it's like the popular thing. So you want to be a part of this popular thing, even though you never heard of this person 10 minutes ago. Um, do you know how that stupid that makes you sound when you do stuff like that? Do you think any man would see your mind as challenging or even interesting? Really? That's not challenging. Okay, when you're gonna be a challenge to a man, he's gonna say something like, and you're gonna say, well, yeah, but let me tell you about this. What do you think about this concept here? And then you're gonna break it down for him. Y'all gonna have a conversation. You're gonna have something that he didn't know. You're gonna present some information that just gets his mind racing with possibilities. You're gonna stimulate his mind and his imagination. Do you know how attractive that is to men? Do you know how excited a guy would be when he can have a conversation with you that he can never have with anyone else? Do you know how much he will crave to be around you? See, y'all don't know how to do it. Y'all don't know how to do it. You don't know if they're interested in your mind. If he's not interested in what you got to say, then get rid of him. I mean, what you're supposed to do, just fuck all day? At some point you need to have a conversation. So if you can't have a conversation with him, then that means it's either you're dumb or he's dumb or both y'all dumb. Okay, it's got to be one of them three. It can't be nothing else. These men are all around. They're all around. And what happens is, they meet somebody who's different. And they'll say that, like, you're different from other women that I've ever met. That shit is a major turn on to them. If there's some out in here, I'll say, if you ask me my favorite movie or color, I'm out. Ooh, and I'm right behind you. I mean, if he's going to, let me put in a caveat there. Like, say it's my birthday or something's coming up, Valentine's Day. And then he asks me, what's my favorite color? Well, I know he's asking for a reason. You see what I'm saying? So in a situation like that, I'd probably be more likely to answer because I know, okay, he's asking me because he's getting ready to get me maybe some flowers or he's going to get me something, a necklace. Or, I don't know. I'm just coming up with some stuff. But something that's got color to it and he wants to make sure it's going to be a color that I like. Okay, in a situation like that where it's framed around something holiday or something like that, then I might be more interested. But just to sit there in conversation, say, well, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite movie, nigga? For real? That's the best you can do? No. All right, so let's move on because that was 3 of my 5 things. Let me see what y'all talking about here. Oh, shut up. Who's this talking about? The coochie starts to hurt. I mean, she right though, but dang. Did you have to put it that way? Unless they are good providers and husbands. Yeah, key word husbands. And even then, you got to kind of be watching. I don't know. I'm thinking condoms are still good. Somebody used the phrase the other day. Uh, Ultra Dusties. I said I got to use that in the title for a video. I already got it and I'm going to do it this weekend. That shit was hilarious. Okay. He told you he loved you within the 3rd day. Okay, that's an example of somebody who was not a challenge. And plus, when dudes do that kind of stuff, they be trying to rush to the ass. I don't trust that. This guy's already asked me what flowers I like. He's moving fast. How do I slow him down? Girl, flowers isn't moving fast. Now, that's fine. Some men bring flowers on the first date. Yeah, somebody, and I don't remember who it was, they used to use that phrase in the chat, ultra dusties. I must have laughed the rest of the night. And I'm like, I can't wait to use that shit in a title of one of my videos. It was too funny. Speaking of which, okay, let's talk about ultra dusty. See, I got a sidetrack here. Yesterday, I was so mad. 7:30 in the morning, I wrote about it on my Facebook page. 7:30 in the morning, I got to be somewhere at 8 o'clock. So I go and now where I live, it's like, the big parking lot and everybody parks under the building. You got your parking stall. And then there's like a one car with, a little extra driveway thing where everybody comes in and out. Only one car can go in at a time though. Why? Okay, I got these African, they Nigerian. I can't stand them motherfuckers. One of their friends at 7:30 in the morning now has his van blocking the middle of that driveway thing, so nobody can come in and or nobody can go out. People got to go to work. People got to go to school. People going to like breakfast meetings. Um, and so everybody just sitting there. I lay on my horn. Okay, nobody comes out. So then I'm like, how you go. "Do, do, 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 do." Okay, so then I wait. I don't know, 30 seconds or so. Nobody. I see no movement. I lay on the horn. Okay, so finally this man come out. And you know how they be doing, and they do like this right, like they like, be patient, this and that. I roll that window down and say, move your goddamn fucking car out the goddamn way. I got some place to go. See, now I'm like on fire. My temper just shot up. I could feel my temples throbbing. I was so hot. So then he motions for me to back up. He gonna keep his car on the property. I kept my car right there. I said, "You gonna go that way?" So he pulls out and he's, park. I said, "You need to park on the street." So then I pull out. I'm waiting for the, car so I can go out in the street. And he's like, comes to my car. He's holding a Bible, and I swear, if I would have had a Molotov cocktail, I would have threw it on his ass. But he's just standing there and he's like, "Oh, sister," with that accent, "sister, it's too early in the morning for that." I said, "Oh, so it's too early for me to be talking shit to you, but it's not too early for you to fuck up my morning and make me late?" And so then he says, "Well, something about the word." I forgot what he said about the word. I said, "Your goddamn word is not paying my bills, okay? Move. Get out of here. Leave me alone." Oh, I was hot. I was so hot. I was like, but see, ultra dusty. I went through that whole circle to say this was an ultra dusty. He totally hit the mark. But every dime goes to the family. Yeah, several issues with this idiot before. Well, not this family, okay? Not this man with the van, but that family. They continue to have people that pull their vehicles into this narrow parking area and block people's cars. I can't tell you how many times I've been out there cussing these people out. So it's just getting to the point of ridiculous. So the next time I'm gonna have to call a building owner. Okay, so let's talk about the last one under point 3, which is make sure he knows he's lucky to have you. The final one I made note of is don't be chasing no man. Do not chase him. You see these videos of sisters proposing to men. What are you doing? That's chasing. Okay, you leave him the space to be the man. Let him pursue you. You let him call you. You let him ask you out. You let him propose. Okay, you do that's his job. That's one of the things that men like to do because that's one of the few markers of manhood that are left that is solely in their domain. And yet here you see women, breaching it by getting on dropping to their knee and proposing to some dusty. No, don't do that. That's not what you do. Okay, we don't need to see that. All right, let's do number 4. Number 4 says, have a damn life and be busy living it. What does that mean? That means you're being busy and you're actually busy. And so you're not playing hard to get. You actually are hard to get because you have some shit going on besides work and church and your kids. And what else do people have? Work, church, kids. Oh, and then some man, whoever the man is. That's like a lot of women, that's their 4 things that their world revolves around: work, church, kids, man. And that's the only priority. You don't have no hobbies, no interest, nothing that brings you joy, nothing that brings you excitement, nothing that you engages your mind or your creativity. Nothing. You don't do nothing except for those things and maybe watch some TV. And do you know how boring you are? How is that a challenge to a man? He can find out everything there is about you within a week, and then what? That shit is boring. That's not gonna keep no man wanting excited about wanting to come around you. Okay, so then let's see. Don't be so available. You know those kind of people, like they want to stay around all the time and they don't never want to leave. You got to like throw them out. Don't be that. Don't be that person. Okay, you gonna spend time at your dude's house. Know when to get up. Leave with so that he's wanting more of you versus can't wait for you to leave. Okay, there's a fine line there. You spend time with people and then you take your leave and you leave them wanting more. You leave them in a state where they can still fantasize about you. That's very important to men. That's during the period of time when they really fall in love with you. They do it by themselves. You don't really have to do anything. You create an impression and then you sky up. Give him some space and time to miss you and to fantasize about you and how life would be with you and what you look like and what you might say and how you laugh. And all this is going on in his head. You're not even anywhere around. But it's going to build up a lot of desire in him to see you and want to be around you. And that's what works. And he just be crazy about you. So he sees you as something, like I keep saying, of value, something that's important and a benefit to acquire the attention, time, and love of. That's what you want. Okay? Yes, please don't chase a man. Don't chase a man. And let him be proud of you. And this is something I don't think a lot of advice columnists talk about this particular aspect, but there should be something about you that your man can brag on you about. Preferably several things, but at least one thing. I don't know what it's going to be. You have to determine that. But you want to excel at something or be so unique, have such a unique approach at something that when he goes around other people, he can say, yeah, my baby does blah, blah, blah. And everybody be like, what? She do? And he's like, yeah, she this and that, blah, 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 blah. Do you know how exciting that is for men? I mean, if he's into you, even if he's just partially into you, the fact that you are something that he can brag about, you make him look good. And he had to work to get you. And you still make him look good. Do you know how much of a turn on that shit is? Y'all really need to get some, think about how you can develop yourself as a woman. It's not enough to just be cute. It's just not enough to just, cook and clean and know how to sex somebody. Okay? You need more than that in a relationship, especially you talking about making it long term. You got to have that man's mind. And if you don't have his mind and all you do is, you screw him, I mean, anybody can step in and do that. What attaches a man to you is how he feels when he's with you, how much he thinks about you, and what you say, what you look like, how you say it, the shit you talk to him, the things that just shock and surprise him, so that he's like always like he don't know what you gonna do or what you gonna say. Not like in a way that's scary. I don't mean that, but I mean like you're the kind of person who's you just like come out with stuff, and he just like what? I'll tell you one thing I did one time. This was a long time ago when I was young and silly. I'm just old and silly now, but we had some pizza, right? We had some pizza, and there was it had this cardboard corner thing on it that said lift flap to release steam. It was on the corner of the box, right? So it would keep it from getting, like the crust from getting steamed and soggy. So I see that, right? So I cut the thing out and then I tape it to my underwear. And then I go in there, I walk in the room where he is, and he's like, what is that on you? So then he reads it, and it lifts, it said lift flap to release steam. He hit the floor laughing. He said, you sound hella stupid. But see, that's what I mean. Just stuff like this, little spontaneous things that make him laugh. And I didn't do it with that intent. I mean, I saw it, I thought the shit was funny myself. And so that's why I did it. But he kept that piece of cardboard for the longest. And every time he would look at it, like on his dresser, and every time he looked at it, he would start chuckling. But just saying. That's how, you make somebody laugh and do silly stuff. That's one of the things, he'll never forget that. I'm sure he probably still remembers that because that shit was funny. So you make him proud of you. Now, can you be a little bit mysterious? You know my videos where I talk about women who talk too much? Y'all be telling way too much of your business. Not only do you be telling too much of your business, you be telling too much of your friend's business. You just be telling your mother's business, your sister's husband's business, your niece's business. Your man know everybody's business in your entire family, all your circle of friends, because you talk too fucking much. You don't be talking about other people's business to your man. You talk about your business to your man. You talk about shit that pertains to the two of you to your man. You do not talk about other women to your man. Okay, I'm not surprised I even have to say this. This is like basic. You should already know this. It should be like common sense. Okay, you guys just be doing the most. I'm telling you. Now, how do you be a little bit mysterious? You do this. Well, he says, like, I don't know, where you were at. Where was you at today? Oh, out and about. Well, where did you go? I saw a lot of interesting things today. I'll tell you about it at some point. It was mind-boggling. It was just astonishing the things that I saw and heard. Or something, whatever you're gonna say, something to get his mind like intrigued with the possibilities. He's gonna be like all over the place, wondering, well, what did she see? What did she do? What's she talking about? What happened? Who do you? So he's, it's gonna. But you have to do this with a secure man. You do it with somebody who's insecure, he gonna get jealous and flip the fuck out, and it's gonna be a problem. So don't do too much of that if you have a guy who's not too secure in himself. But okay, yeah, I already went over all things. Okay, so now point 5. Did she say you're like the mother mentor to us? Oh, you lost your mom when you were young. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, a lot of people started calling me Auntie Deb or Mama Deb or whatever, depending on their age. I guess that could be because my daughter's 25, so these girls are 23, 22. So I guess they could be my daughter. Yeah, but I be cussing them out. I mean, like, what the fuck you doing? You're doing some stupid shit. They be like, oh, mother shouldn't say that. I'm like, then don't call me mama damn then. But that's part of it. It's like, so you've got your mother who's, because everything I say is approached with love. I'm not saying any of the stuff to the young women, out of hate or anything. I just want them to be better. And I try to give them reasons to be better and explain to them why they need to be better. And then I give them guidance on how to be better. And it's all done because I care. It's not because I'm trying to, be mean, but it's the kind of thing a lot of young women I think have been around people who are too stupid to, or don't really want them to, to do better. They want to keep them in that crabs in a barrel thing all fucked up so that they don't become stellar. They don't get out. They don't, rise and shine above everybody else. I want all the young women to come to my channel to rise and shine. All of you. All of you. I'm not trying to hold nobody back. Yeah, I do. All day, every day. And so, a lot of people can't take it. They can't handle it, though. But that don't mean I'm going to change what I'm saying because they can't handle it. I'm just going to be me. Okay, so here we go. Point number 5 of our 5-point list to be more of a challenge to men. Remember, and I think this is the most important thing, my career. Do I have one? I've done so many things. Before I finish this, I'll rattle off some of the things I've done in my, quote, career. It's like a checkerboard. Okay, number 5, you being a challenge is more about you than it is about him. Now, let me explain that. Because, I like a lot of young women thought, well, we're going to hear this and we're going to hear, 5 points about how we can be a challenge to men. And it's like, yeah, I covered that in 4, but in this particular part, I think it's important that you understand what it means to be a challenge to the opposite sex. And that it incorporates some things that are all about yourself, and that you will do for the benefit of yourself, whether you're in a relationship with a man right then or not. It may be preparing you for when the right guy comes along. You could be a challenge to him. I don't know, because everybody's in different states of their life and different stages of relationships. But this is what I put. You got to be comfortable with who and what you are. And when you're comfortable with who and what you are, it shows. You have such a relaxed attitude. Do you know how wonderful that is for a man? If a guy who is confident, he wants a woman who is equally confident. He doesn't want somebody he's got to reassure all the time. She's going to be, calling 15 times a day. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you still love me? You didn't tell me you love me. I called you an hour ago and you didn't answer. Where were you? What were you doing? You were cheating on me. Okay. A confident dude don't have time for no woman like that. He doesn't have time to keep reassuring you and building you up and making you feel good about yourself. You need to feel good about yourself on your own. And then, exactly, work on your confidence, work on your self-esteem. In my video on self-esteem, I've made some great recommendations for, some suggested resources that you could do, some books and stuff for you to build up your self-confidence and your self-esteem. It's extremely annoying. But a lot of women are like that, and the men love them. I mean, they be trying to deal with it, but it's like at some point, he's going to crack. And then he's going to leave you because you drive him fucking nuts. And that's just the way it is. Now, another thing about being a challenge in under point five about you, it being more about you than him. If you have confidence in yourself, not only can you accept compliments well, you can also give them. Now, people who don't have the ability to do that, those are the ones who are always like, look at her. She thinks she cute. Why she got to be wearing that bitch, this and that. But okay, lack of confidence. Because even if someone doesn't look the best in something, it doesn't bother you because it's not about you. It's not, you ain't wearing it and you don't have to look at it. They don't want walking around looking like a circus clown. That has nothing to do with you. But if you see someone like a woman, she's like slaying left and right, you like, girl, you got it going on. You got that kind of confidence. You're not jealous of other women. You're happy for them, finding themselves. And the same thing goes with your man. I know a lot of women are like, I'm not telling that nigga that he cute today or that he fine or nothing because it's gonna go up to his head. Blah blah blah. And I'm not saying you got to blow his head up. But what I'm saying is, okay, you with a guy, right? Obviously, there's something that you like about him. What is it that you like about him? Do you have the confidence to let him know that? Men like to feel good too. They like to feel calm. I mean, the guy, he gets up and goes to the gym every morning at 5 a.m. before he goes to work. He's doing that for a reason. Okay, he needs a little extra boost of motivation. So there's nothing wrong with you saying, I like how you take care of your body because that, this is better for me. It's like, you really, you look good in the t-shirt, baby. Them arms is working. You've been working on them guns or something. I mean, whatever you're going to say, about the dude who works out. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe he was going to school and he was going to night school and he was working during the day and now he's about to graduate. He's about to get this job he's always wanted, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what's wrong with you telling him how proud you are of his perseverance, of his goals, how you watched him struggle and how it just like totally impressed you, the kind of man that he was, and you hope that your sons are just like him. Do you know how that'll make that man feel? But see, again, you have to have the confidence in yourself to say things like that to people, and you have to have the confidence in yourself to identify that that's how you feel and not feel intimidated about expressing it to the guy that you're supposed to love. And that too, I mean, that's like priceless to a man that his woman thinks that highly of him, especially a woman that he had to put in work to get. So, it's like it has double value because he worked his ass off to get you. Then he worked his ass off to keep you. He worked his ass off to impress you. And now he's getting the rewards of all of that work. Like you tell him that what a wonderful man he is and how proud you are of him. That motherfucker ain't going nowhere. Okay. Also, don't think of sex as a way to get him, but instead as something that you share only with men who prove that they are worthy. So, even though I am a fan of women doing their thing, I'm not saying that you have to feel like you have to be slut shamed or anything like that. But what I'm saying is you have to be cognizant of the fact that there are men who have a certain belief system, and in their belief system, women don't, aren't that loose and easy. And so it's like, it's not saying you have to be, like a Miss Pristine or anything, but you're discreet, so that he doesn't have to worry about he's gonna run into somebody that you screwed, or two or three people that you screwed and stuff. Is gonna embarrass him. So you carry yourself in a way that you do what you want to do, but you are discreet about it, and you choose partners who have discretion and who are got some fucking sense. Okay, so if you have the confidence to do that, and then he knows that that's how you are, and you pick him to be one of those few men that you got busy with, well, then he's gonna feel like he made a certain cut that a lot of men won't qualify to make. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to be pristine and virginal and all of that, but it should be reflected that you have some standards in who you sleep with, and that he was one of the men that you chose to share yourself with. That's gonna blow his chest up, you know. Um, and the last two things is focus on yourself and your happiness. So, in a relationship, you have things that you want to do, and you can't see him that day, or you have things you want to do with your friends. You want to get your hair done, you want to get your nails done, you got a spa weekend with the girls or something like that. He might have his lips stuck out, but he'll get over it. And it makes him miss you. And so that when you get back, he's going to be even extra romantic and extra loving, because he was so dying to see you and spend time with you. Okay? And then the final thing about you, this challenge, being the challenge be more about you than it is about him, is that, you got to make sure that he's inspired to bring his A game. And that means that, like I said, you don't just fold like as soon as you meet him and drop everything that you're doing and everybody that you're doing. He has to get in where he fits in. He has to earn the privilege of being your number one man. Um, and you don't say that to him. You just be busy. You just living your life, be it out with your friends, going to your classes, going to the gym, going to your job, traveling when you want to, all that stuff. You still do those things, and he can come with you if the possibility is there. But he understands. I got to come. I want to be with her. I got to get my shit right. My shit got to be straight, because I want this woman. I got to do everything I need to do to make sure that this happens. That's how you be a challenge. No. And like men really like it when you're a challenge. Like if people say that hard to get thing. They like it if you're hard to get for other men. They don't want it to be too hard to get for them. But unfortunately, at the beginning, everybody's on a level playing field. Now, after you get with him, he's your boyfriend and stuff. There might be a little more flexibility. You might, sometimes stay home. You might sometimes, skip the gym or something like that, just to make him feel special. Y'all go on a date or something like that. But in general, do all you can to maintain your life and the things that bring you joy in your life. And he'll be flexible. He'll make sure he fits in there. He'll make sure he get in there where he can get in there. So don't worry about that. Don't feel like you have to fold up and do everything just to be with him, and give up everything to be with him and please him all the time. Men don't respect women like that. They will just run the fuck over you because you're just too easy. You're too easy. Okay, now I finished my lecture. This is Topic Thursday. You're on the Debsterism channel. My name is Deborrah Cooper. I'm an advice columnist, author, and researcher. I'm always doing a survey about something or the other. And, I reflect a lot on human nature and behaviors and attitudes in certain demographics, primarily the African American community. But sometimes I do other things too. And I wanted to, respond to a channel visitor's question, or suggestion rather, that we talk about how a woman can present herself as a little more of a challenge and draw a man's interest in, draw him in by being more challenging and less easy to get, and less weak and desperate and all those kind of things. Okay, so now anybody have some last questions before we finish up? I'm going to be on Twitch on the weekend. If you're not my, On my Twitch, it's Depsterism as well. I'm telling you, I cannot be creative because I can't remember nothing. So I have to use the same names as I go from channel to channel. But I'm trying to get into my little audience over there amongst the gamers because those are young people. They have a relationships. They're trying to, and they can use some of my advice. So I'm trying to branch out and expand my horizons. So I'm gotten over there. Oh yeah, my career. Okay, let me see. What did I start off doing? I don't know, usual kid stuff. I got summer jobs and whatnot. I had my first business at 14, my first business. And it turned out I was pretty good at sales because when I was a Girl Scout, I was always the number one seller of the cases of cookies and stuff. I got my parents to drive me to different places where people were getting off of work. And they'd be hungry at 5 o'clock right before they get in. A lot of people have a long commute. And we'd be selling the Girl Scout cookies, man. I get my brothers out there. I have them on different corners. There goes four of us. So it's like you go there, you go there, you go there, you go there. And they give them a case or two of cookies, with a mixed packages in there. And we would pimp them people, honey. We throw so many cookies. And so I would always win like trips to Disney. They send like four people, for family. My parents would just pay the rest, for the rest in the difference. So everybody could go. Stuff like that. So I've always been a hustler. I've always been a hustler. And then I learned word processing when my aunt used to work at this company. I forgot what that thing was called, but it was like a one line. Uh, but anyway, I learned word processing real early. And I worked at a brokerage firm. That was like one of my first summer jobs. And I was the first black person that had ever worked at this place. Then I went on, I worked as a professional wedding photographer. I worked as a writer for a newspaper. I worked as in law firms as a legal secretary. Then I got a paralegal certificate. I worked in radio. I worked in television. I worked in the .com industry. Then I moved into marketing and promotion. Um, I worked as a fitness trainer again, where you have to sell yourself. Each one of these kind of jobs is you're promoting something, you're selling yourself primarily. And I had clients that I kept for 10, 12 years. And I was constantly thinking of new things to get their bodies in shape. I had clients in their 60s that looked like from the back, they looked like they was in their 40s. To keep their bodies was tight. And then I did more writing, freelance writing, and freelance web development. I taught myself to do all of that. And what else did I do? I'm leaving something out. Hmm. I can't remember. Seems like I'm leaving something out. But anyway, that's what I do. It's like whatever interest I have, I pursue it until I master it. And then when I master it, I move on to the next thing. So that's why, people say, what I have like 5 resumes, and they like for different fields of different experience. And a lot of the things I was doing simultaneously. So, personal training, you don't do, I mean, I didn't anyway, full time. I mean, I did a couple of nights a week and, one weekend then I had some private clients and stuff like that. So, I was able to do like other things during the day, other kinds of contract work. And, a lot of contract marketing and stuff, web development and web promotion for people. I did a lot of that, web writing, um, putting together marketing materials and stuff like that. So that's what I did, and so that's how come my resume looks like a hot mess. So what do you think about guys pushing for relationships too fast? If he's going too fast for your speed and he refuses to slow down, you have to understand what's going on. He is doing the bums rush thing because he's trying to get you into bed as quickly as possible and to fall in love so he can run whatever game he's trying to run on you. Because they know when women get their feelings involved, they're easier to manipulate. You're less likely to say no. Your boundaries kind of disappear. So that's what they do. Somebody was telling me that there's a book in that they called it love bombing. I don't know anything about all that, but I saw that term being used. And I thought, wow, that's kind of interesting. But I guess, that's kind of what they do. They just to be full of romance and love, calling you all the time, wanting to be around you. So they squish what would normally be like, several months of courting behaviors into a week. So the woman is like dizzy. So all her boundaries, kind of go up in smoke. She's not pacing the relationship. You must pace the relationship. Don't let him take you off course. Don't let him do that. Yeah, it should be. Just space it out. I mean, he don't need to see you every day. You just met the motherfucker. I'll see you on the weekend or something. Don't let them do that to you, and don't let them keep you on the phone for hours and hours either. You talk to his ass for 20 or 30 minutes at the most, and then tell him you got some shit to do. See, boundaries, challenge, get off the phone. You all spend too much time on the phone. You ought to be doing something to make some fucking money or something, or put some fat on your head. Go read a damn book instead of blabbing on the phone to some knucklehead about nothing. Yeah, stay in the driver's seat. That is a good way to phrase it. Don't let them take control of the relationship. Men are not qualified to control the relationship. Don't know the first thing about it. They gonna crash and burn the shit. So don't you do that. The advice I paid people for was not as helpful as Deb's on boundaries. Well, yeah. People are saying, I should have been a shrink. I'm like, no, that would not be a good idea. Because you have certain things you can't say. Once you start having licenses and stuff, you certain things you can't say because then you be like brought up on charges and whatnot. And so that's why I never pursued that course of action. Because that's this way, being this way, I can say I don't have no licenses and stuff. So hey, I'm gonna just say what I want to say. You okay with that? And people say, yeah, I'm okay with it. So then we go. But man, I'm telling you, once you get a license, they have all these rules and shit you can't say and you can't do, and you can't hurt people's feelings. I mean, it's just too much. I'm like, oh, maybe I want to hurt their feelings. Maybe their feelings need to be hurt. But you can't say that. You can't do stuff like that. Fat on your head. That's what my grandmother used to say. Get some fat on your head. Yeah, it's dating stuff is very scary. It's very scary. Very, very scary. So anybody got any last question before I go stuff my face? Because that's what I'm about to do. I used my light today. I have another one, but I haven't set it up yet. But this helps keep the background looking better, I think. Don't you guys know it looks better? It's more evenly lit, even as the sun goes down. And then, see, this way I can do videos at night when the winter comes, because I have 3 lights, and I'm going to set them all up. It's going to be hot as hell. But we going out to dinner. I don't know what we're going to have. I think we're going to go to the ramen place. There's a new ramen place over here. Japanese ramen, and it's good. It's screaming. What dating advice would you give to a 24-year-old? Oh, honey, there's 400 videos on this channel of dating advice for you. Just pick one. Where's the wine? What you think I've been drinking? Water? I don't drink water unless it's my little fizzy water that I have in that can. I drink that. But just regular water, I'm not a fan. I am not a fan. Are the grounds for divorce the same as when you need to break off a relationship with a boyfriend? They can be. I mean, like, abusive, the same. Disrespect, the same. Not holding up his end of the bargain, same. Certain things are the same. But what I think that you owe each other as husband and wife is to at least give it a good shot with some therapy, especially if you have children involved. And, try. See if you can do it. But what's good about therapy is twofold. It's always good to get therapy if you're married, and let me tell you why. Either you can save the marriage because they'll help you resolve some conflicts that you guys couldn't really resolve on your own, because the therapist is going to have a different perspective. Just like you guys ask me questions, they write questions. I have a different perspective than the one who wrote the letter, and often a different kind of perspective from even some of you guys. But that's what's good about having a therapist, because they're not involved. They're going to see things with clear, fresh eyes. The other benefit of therapy is that even if you two break up, you're going to break up with the resolution that you gave it your best shot, and that breaking up is the right thing to do. So you can leave with what they call closure. You guys know that you did your best. It wasn't going to work. You've resolved all your conflicts to the point where now you can split and make a clean break. No animosity towards each other. You can breathe a sigh of relief, hug it out, and then go your separate ways. So I am a big fan of therapy. As long as you get a good therapist. Yeah, well, there you go. I just looked up here and saw somebody said therapists can be crazy. Yeah, one of the best therapists I ever had, because I had to get therapy after I was ready to kill somebody at my job one time. That's a long story, but I was seriously about to go postal on this bitch. And but they put me on they used to have this thing in California called a stress leave. But I wanted a week or a couple of weeks off from work, so I'd have to look at them people. So that's what they do. They just take you off work and give you time with a shrink and stuff. So I like went to this guy. I'm like, well, it might be good for me. I can resolve some shit, my anger issues, because I have always had a terrible temper. So I go and it's this middle-aged white guy, but he was like an old ex-hippie, right? So he'd always raised up in been in San Francisco like in his youth, had friends of all different kind of ethnicities, had worked at like IBM or something, and then retired and did a second career as a psychotherapist. And I mean, the man was fascinating. I mean, half the time I was supposed to be in there talking about myself, I was and interviewing him. Fascinating guy, so much fun, very insightful. I learned a lot about myself during those weeks I was, in therapy with him, that I think helped me become partly. I mean, even though we only got together for about 6 weeks, I saw him twice a week for 12 sessions, and but he really helped me see things bigger. And when you have somebody who's like twice your age and been through everything that you're going through 16 times, he comes with a different perspective. And even though he was a white male, he was just cool as hell. He wasn't like one of those, stuffy kind of people that's unrealistic. I mean, he's like pictures on him with his friends, and all his friends was black males, black females. Some people he grew up with. He had pictures of them from when they was younger to when they were older. I mean, dude was just cool, and I really enjoyed. He benefited my life, I have to say. He did, but he really helped me. And so when I did go back to that job, I'd already got my lawyers and sued them and all that old stuff. So when I went back, I was in a power position, and I didn't have no more problems out of them. But therapy can be a good thing for a couple that's about to split up. You want to hear what I had to say about texting? What did somebody say about texting? I had a whole video. No, it's not a video. It's an article on survivingdating.com about texting rules. Survivingdating.com, that's my dating blog. It's probably about 500 articles I wrote up there. That's when I used to like to write a lot. Now I'm lazy. I just do videos. I don't write. I haven't written shit. Let's see. I got 5 more minutes. I had a therapist re-traumatize me. What? Oh, when you're dating someone and they only want to talk, to text, not talk. Oh, no, 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 no. What are they, 12? No, 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 no. No. Grown men talk. If you have someone who's cheaping, trying to keep up a relationship via text, that's somebody who really doesn't want a relationship with you, or who is an extremely poor communicator, neither of which bode well for an adult relationship. You have to be able to communicate with your partner. That's mandatory. Mandatory. So you got somebody who only wants to text you, get rid of them. Stop texting them. Block them from texting you. That's somebody who's probably stupid and can't really speak. Well, go to the Association of Black Psychologists website and see if they have any members in your area. Of course, that's not every black psychologist, but at least the ones that are part of that organization, which might be a good start. It's like American Association of Black Psychologists or something like that. So start by checking there. Psychology Today, those aren't real psychologists. Sometimes blame the victim because they don't really get to. That's why you got to find somebody who's black. Because, I mean, it's just different. Either black or like this white boy I'm talking about. he was like, so black culture. He was very familiar with black culture, so he knew what was the deal. I'm just saying. Because, so many brothers is cluster B, cluster C, and just fuck C and fuck B and all, and they just all fucked up. So you got to get somebody who knows what the score is. And, you got somebody who doesn't really understand black culture, doesn't understand black men. All they know about black people is what they've seen on TV. That is not going to work. That's not going to work. You need to stop wasting your money. Don't even go there. That's just a waste of time. All right? But anyway, I guess I'll go because I'm starving. I didn't eat well today. No wonder I don't feel. I'm grumpy. Yeah, white female therapists. I don't know. The young ones are crazy, and then the older ones are fucking clueless. So that's not really the avenue I would explore. I would go if you can't find like an old white hippie dude like I had, then I would just say get you somebody black, and then you might have some luck. Tell your man to cook for you. No, he ain't here. And plus, I don't really like his cooking. He only cooks good breakfast. And since I don't eat meat anymore, we always have to have separate food. He likes omelets and shit. I'm like, whatever. If I was vegetarian, it would be okay. It would be okay, but no. I don't want to eat eggs. Me and eggs are not, we don't get along that well. Even before I went vegan, that me and eggs was like not friends. You working on your master's in counseling? Oh, okay. Well, maybe you can hook up with what's her name, and y'all can do some phone counseling. I had a black obstetrician. Okay, let me tell you about this brother. Okay, I'm pregnant with my daughter, right? At first, I was fine. I was exercising and stuff. I wasn't really. So then something happened. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I was just eating up the world. I was like a Pac-Man, and I gained like 5 pounds from one month to the next. So when I went in there, and he looked at me, he said, "Okay, you gaining too much weight too fast. You keep eating like that, I'm gonna give you a fat lip." And he said that to me, and I started laughing. So then after that, I did better because I was just eating like cinnamon roll. And what's that place that makes those big cinnamon rolls? Cinnabon. I was having me a Cinnabon like twice a week. I was just doing the most. And you're not supposed to do all of that. I didn't need to gain that much weight. So it was kind of funny. But anyway, you guys, that's my checklist for how to develop yourself to be more challenging to men, more interesting, more totally in charge of what you're doing, what you're saying, and to get the results that you're looking for, where a guy is intrigued by you instead of bored out of his mind and running away from you. Okay, so we'll be back on the weekend. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, I think Saturday. I'll be on Twitch, and then I'll be back on YouTube probably on Sunday. Okay, so with something else. So you guys take care. Go out and make me proud and be happy. Be successful. I'll see you later.